Hi everyone, and welcome to a Noodle Journey supplemental review. Today I'm checking out an assortment of dried toppings that you can buy online to spruce up your ramen. And I have a few of these I'll be spreading out between noodle reviews. This is from a company called Ramen Bae, and it's their classic seafood and vegetables mix. Now before I get into this, I just want to acknowledge that yes, there are many ways you could go about getting vegetables and proteins to put in your instant noodles. But with products like this, you're paying a bit more to have it all in one container without having to go to the store and buy individual vegetables and proteins and then chop and or cook them yourself. Plus, these are dried and should last a very long time on a shelf. You could also consider buying from companies that specialize in dried veggies like Harmony House, which works out to be cheaper by volume than something like this. But when you do that, you're buying individual vegetable packs, you're getting a way longer cook time due to their dehydration process, and you're also not getting the seafood proteins in here. Now, Ramen Bae isn't the only kid on the block with this idea, but they're relatively new and obviously passionate about their product, and I appreciate that, which is why I gave them my money. So let's talk about the Ramen Bae brand. If it wasn't obvious by now from other videos, I've mentioned that I frequent Reddit quite a bit, and I always try to keep up with and contribute to the ramen and instant ramen subreddits. And back in February, an enterprising individual posted this. I always wished ramen/cup noodles came with more dried toppings. I've never seen any company that sells just dehydrated ramen toppings, so I made my own. Cool, right? The initial response was very positive. They asked for future product ideas and they promised more varieties in the future. And then they went viral on TikTok with this one, and you know what that means. They sold out of this almost immediately. After that, there was some minor drama on their social media where they talked about several unexpected delays with getting a restock of this product, as well as initial inventory of their next product, which I do also have for review. And I'm not bringing up the supply issues to bash them, but rather so you know that as a new business, there's always the potential for some hiccups, and you really should support small businesses while still making an informed purchase. Now, personally, I'm not a spoiled piece of shit who will dump on a new business because it might take a couple extra weeks to get inventory. And so if you do decide to order from them and you run into a snag, be patient and be kind, because they're new at this and there may be global logistics totally out of their control. Also, because some people who are not me seem to have a problem with this, they do state plainly in their FAQ that this is sourced from China, but that their factory is FDA registered and up to date with health and safety regulations. If, despite that reassurance, buying food from China bothers you, which I think is a strange flex if you're into instant noodles already, then I do have an alternative to Ramen Bae coming up for a future review that is made in America. So I'm happy to say their inventory issues seem to be fixed at the time of this recording, and you can order this directly from their website, theramenbae.com. This is $24.99 for a pretty hefty 14-ounce bag right now, with free shipping and also a discount code if you order 2 or more bags. And this shipped super fast from San Francisco and arrived here on the East Coast in 2 days, which was great. And they sent a cute little sticker too. This also ships internationally for an additional charge if you're not in the USA. And this 14-ounce bag is estimated to provide you 16 to 20 servings depending on how much you use at a time. So let's talk about what's in here. This contains a really wide variety of vegetables and seafood. We have imitation crab, narutomaki fish cake, shrimp, squid, cabbage, bean curd, carrot, shiitake mushroom, green onion, and corn. That is a great assortment of ingredients. I could take or leave the corn and carrot, but I know some people like it in their ramen. So to cook with this, you add your desired amount of toppings to boiling water, and you let it steep for 3 minutes. Due to the cooking time, this pairs perfectly well with a cup noodle product. And so with that in mind, plus the fact that Ramen Bae's own marketing images show this going into cup noodles, for this review, I'm going to test this in one of my lesser favorite cup noodle products. I'm going to put this into Cup Noodle Original, which I gave a 6 out of 10 when I reviewed it. If you didn't watch that review, this is a fairly basic soy sauce and sesame flavor with some shrimp and sausage in it. Even though the Japanese version is very popular, this version made for American shelves lacks MSG and is just okay, in my opinion. If Ramen Bae can elevate this and make it shine, I will be a believer. So to start with, we're going to go about this scientifically, and I'm going to pull out all the shrimp that already comes in this cup so that I'm only getting Ramen Bae's shrimp. And that's it. There were 5 shrimp in these cup noodles. With Ramen Bae, you get to put in as many shrimp as you want, plus all the other good stuff. So I'm going to open up the Ramen Bae and add a couple of spoonfuls, and I'm going to make sure I get a little bit of everything in here. All right, and there we go. I think I got a little bit of everything. The shiitake mushrooms seem to be the most elusive ingredient in this entire bag, but I have at least a couple pieces of those in here, along with everything else. So I'm going to go cook this, and I will be right back. Okay, here we go. The way I'm going to approach this review is, since all of the major components are on top here, I'm going to try them individually, then I'm going to stir this up and see how they interact with the broth and the product as a whole. So, let's try a fish cake. Shrimp. Shiitake mushroom. Imitation crab. Bean curd. Squid. Corn. I already got a couple pieces of this incidentally, but green onion. Cabbage. Carrot. All right, now what I'm going to do is stir this all up so I get an idea of how this interacts with the broth and the noodles as a whole. I should mention, as far as smells, this does definitely give it a fishier smell. There's no escaping that. There's 4 active seafood ingredients in this. It is going to turn your broth fishy. Whether you like that or not is up to you. I do. I'm cool with this. Let's see how this all works together. Oh yeah, there's a good amount of stuff in this bite. Okay, not sure how much of this I'll be editing out for the sake of brevity, but I'm just going to cut to the chase. This is great. The amount of extra stuff this adds to this cup is terrific, and it has actively made this a better experience. Everything seems to have rehydrated perfectly. The Ramen Bae shrimp are an okay size, and they're tasty. In fact, the other stuff is exactly right too. The crab stick, squid, and narudamaki are tasty and tender. I think the crab stick might have been a little too tender, but it's still flavorful. And the rest of the veggies are just as good as the ones you already get in cup noodles to begin with. I think the only other thing I could complain about, aside from the texture of the crab stick, and I already brought this up, is that this isn't as versatile as some people might want. 4 kinds of seafood in here means that you are going to, at least to some degree, add fishy seafood flavor to whatever broth you put this in. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, since of course many instant noodle flavors marry seafood with meat or soy or miso broth. But if you're a purist about seafood not touching certain noodles, you might not enjoy this. Just saying. For me, I love seafood. I'm into this. I think this has a ton of applications, and I'm very happy to give Ramen Bae's classic seafood and vegetables mix a 9 out of 10 as an overall score. So yes, even though I love to gripe about corn, I think this is an excellent product, and I'll be a happy customer going forward. Between the texture of the crab stick and the slight fishiness, those things keep this from being a perfect 10. I think the versatility is just a little impacted by the seafood. But really, this is a great product idea with great quality overall. So if you're someone who likes this as a concept but wants something without all the seafood, then you're going to want to watch my review of Ramen Bae's veggie mix, which I will film soon. In the meantime, if you like the idea of adding seafood and vegetables to your noodle soups, I think this is a terrific value and an easy recommendation, and you're supporting a small business, which is always good to do. So that review of the veggie mix will be coming soon, unless this is the future for you, in which case please go ahead and watch it. In the meantime, if you try Ramen Bae, please let me know what kinds of noodles you added them to and how it worked for you. And also let Ramen Bae know on their website or social media, because they collect testimonials and respond to feedback. Check out the ramenbae.com to order this if you're interested in it, and be sure to follow their social media accounts for the latest information. Speaking of following, I hope you'll like this video and subscribe to the channel so I can keep bringing you reviews like this. I'll see you on the next episode of Noodle Journey.